The most dangerous prison in the world is the one built inside your mind. It's a prison with no visible bars, no iron locks. Its walls are built brick by brick from every failure you've relived, every rejection you've taken to heart, every whispered word of doubt that has echoed in the silence of your own thoughts. You walk through life, but you carry this cell with you. To the office, to your home, to your bed at night. It is the constant, low hum of anxiety, the weight of what could go wrong, the quiet ache of a potential, unrealized. But what if? What if you've been reading the map all wrong? What if the pain wasn't a sign of punishment, but a signal of preparation? What if the storm wasn't sent to break you, but to forge you? Because today, we're not talking about motivation, that fleeting spark that dies when the first cold wind blows. No, today, we are talking about mental armor, the kind that is tempered in failure, polished by discipline, and worn with such conviction that no storm, no setback, no voice of doubt can ever penetrate it. The kind that makes you, finally, unbreakable. Look around you, at the world we have built. A world of endless connection, yet profound isolation. A digital cacophony where everyone is shouting, but few have anything real to say. We are drowning in a sea of comparison, measuring our behind-the-scenes reality against everyone else's highlight reel. And in the quiet moments, when the screens go dark, that's when we feel it most keenly. The inner emptiness. The quiet question. Is this all there is? This is how modern life breaks people. Not with a single catastrophic blow, but with 1,000 tiny cuts. A slow leak of hope. A gradual erosion of your spirit, until you find yourself simply going through the motions, a passenger in your own life. You start to believe that success, that unshakable confidence, that profound sense of purpose, is reserved for a select few, for the lucky, the brilliant, the born rich. But I am here to tell you that is the single greatest lie you will ever tell yourself. Success, true and lasting success, has very little to do with intelligence, or luck, or circumstance. It has everything to do with what happens in the space between a single event and your response to it. It is about mastering your attitude under fire. It is the one discipline that determines everything. For decades, we have been searching for the secret in the wrong places, in new productivity hacks, in the latest self-help fad. But the secret was never outside of you. It was always within. It is the architecture of your own mind, and that architecture can be rebuilt. In the time we have together, we will uncover the brutal truth of why most people lose the battle in their own head before they even step onto the field. We will dismantle the faulty programming that has held you back, piece by piece, and we will lay the foundation for something new, something solid, something unbreakable. We will explore the 3 pillars that make a person mentally invincible. This is not about positive thinking. This is about fundamental reconstruction. There is an invisible war being waged, not on distant battlefields, but in the silent, private theater of your mind. A constant, simmering conflict between 2 forces, fear and faith, doubt and conviction. The person you are, and the person you know deep down you were meant to become. And here is the most critical thing to understand. Your mind never, ever stays neutral. It is always being programmed. Every thought you entertain, every voice you listen to, every image you consume, it is all writing code on the hard drive of your subconscious. If you do not consciously choose the code, the world will choose it for you. It will program you with anxiety from the 24-hour news cycle. It will program you with insecurity from the curated perfection of social media. It will program you with limitation from the well-meaning but fearful people who surround you. You become a passive recipient of your reality, rather than the active architect of it. Consider 2 people facing the exact same setback, a devastating failure. One looks at the rubble of their plans and hears a voice that says, "See? I knew you weren't good enough. This is all you will ever be." They internalize the failure. They let it become their identity. They retreat, and the walls of that mental prison grow thicker, stronger. But the other person, They stand in that same rubble, and they hear a different voice. A quieter one, perhaps, but a stubborn one. A voice that asks, "What is this here to teach me? Where is the hidden opportunity?" They do not see a verdict. They see a lesson. They channel the pain into fuel. Think of Thomas Edison. He didn't fail 2,000 times to invent the light bulb. He simply found 2,000 ways that didn't work. Each failure was not a stop sign. It was a signpost guiding him forward. People do not fail because they are weak. They fail because they let the world think for them. They outsource their most sacred responsibility, the cultivation of their own mind, to outside forces. They allow their internal world to become a reflection of the chaos outside, rather than a sanctuary from it. And a mind that is not a sanctuary will always become a prison. There is a moment, a single, pivotal moment in the life of every person who ever changes their destiny. It is not the moment of great success, of applause and accolades. It is the moment that comes before. The quiet, desperate moment in the dark, when you are completely alone with your thoughts. It is the moment you realize you have a choice. Not a choice about your circumstances, but a choice about your mind. The realization that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And the observer can become the commander. I want you to picture a man. Let's call him James. James has hit what he believes is rock bottom. His business has failed. His relationships are strained. The future looks like a solid, impenetrable wall. For months, he is a victim of his own mind. Every thought is a tidal wave of regret, of fear, of self-recrimination. He is drowning in the noise. But one morning, utterly exhausted by the internal war, he makes a decision. It is not a grand decision. It is a small one, a seemingly insignificant one. He decides that for just 5 minutes today, he will not let his thoughts run wild. He will sit in the silence, and when a thought of failure arises, he will not follow it down the rabbit hole. He will simply acknowledge it and let it pass like a cloud in the sky. He will command one single thought, just one. The first day, it's a battle. The second day, it's slightly easier. A week goes by, and he finds he can reclaim 10 minutes of peace. A month later, he realizes something profound has shifted. He is no longer at the mercy of the storm in his mind. He has discovered the eye of the hurricane, a place of perfect calm. From that calm, a new kind of power begins to grow, the power of deliberate response. He couldn't control his business failing, but he could command his response to it. And that command changed everything. This is the great turning point. The shift from being a tenant in your own mind, subject to the whims of a chaotic landlord, to becoming the owner, the master. This is what Napoleon Hill called cosmic housekeeping. It is the daily, deliberate practice of clearing out the mental clutter that breeds defeat. You sweep out the doubts. You take out the trash of past regrets. You air out the rooms with breaths of gratitude and purpose. You stop letting every stray thought, every negative comment, every fear of the future, set up permanent residence in the most valuable real estate you will ever own, your mind. You are not here to be a passive passenger on this journey. You are here to take the wheel. The first pillar of the unbreakable mind is not grit, nor is it resilience. Those come later. The foundation, the very bedrock upon which everything else is built, is direction. A ship with a torn sail and a broken rudder can still drift, but it will never arrive at a chosen destination. It is at the mercy of the winds and the currents. So many people are like that ship. They are moving, they are busy, but they are adrift. And a drifting mind is a vulnerable mind. It is easily tossed by the storms of circumstance. It is easily lured by the siren songs of distraction. You must have a definite chief aim, a single central purpose that is so clear, so compelling, that it becomes the North Star by which you navigate your entire life. This is not a vague wish to be happy or successful. Those are fleeting feelings, not destinations. Your definite chief aim must be a specific, tangible target. It is the one goal worth suffering for. The one dream that will get you out of bed on the cold, dark mornings when motivation has long since fled. Close your eyes for a moment. I want you to ask yourself a question, and I want you to answer with brutal honesty. If you knew, with absolute certainty, that you could not fail, what would you set out to accomplish? What mission would ignite your soul? What legacy would you want to leave? That burning, undeniable vision. That is your definite chief aim. Write it down. Carve it into your mind. Let it be the first thing you see in the morning and the last thing you remember at night. A man or a woman without a purpose is like a compass without a magnet. The needle spins wildly, pointing nowhere. They are susceptible to every opinion, every piece of criticism. Every minor setback becomes a major catastrophe because there is no larger context to absorb the blow. But when you have a purpose, when you have a direction, the storms still come. The waves still crash. But you are no longer adrift. You are anchored. You can take the impact, adjust your sails, and keep your gaze fixed on the horizon. Your purpose becomes the filter through which you process all of life's events. Does this bring me closer to my aim, or further away? Your direction decides everything. Now, you have your direction. You have your North Star. But a destination on a map is useless if you do not believe you can reach it. This brings us to the second pillar, the discipline of belief. Your mind, that vast and powerful landscape, does not respond to your wishes. It does not respond to your hopes. It responds to your commands. And the most powerful commands you can issue are those delivered with conviction, repeated with consistency. This is the principle of autosuggestion. It is the process of deliberately planting the seeds of belief into the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Most people are practicing autosuggestion every single day, but they are doing it backwards, and with devastating consequences. They wake up and the first thought is, "I'm so tired." They look in the mirror and think, "I'm not good enough." They face a challenge and whisper, "I can't do this." They are repeatedly, methodically, programming themselves for failure. They are watering the weeds of doubt and then wondering why their garden is overrun. You must become the relentless gardener of your own mind. You must consciously choose the seeds you plant. This is not about empty affirmations you repeat without feeling. This is about the conscious, emotional repetition of a core belief until it is accepted as absolute truth by your subconscious. Your subconscious mind is the engine. It will take you wherever you direct it, but you must be the one to hold the wheel and give the command. Every morning, before the world has a chance to impose its noise upon you, you must speak power louder than fear. Find a quiet space. Look yourself in the eye and declare your truth, not with a timid voice, but with the conviction of a commander addressing his troops. If your aim is to build a business, do not say, "I hope I can do this." You say, "I am capable. I am resourceful. I am building a successful enterprise." Say it until you feel the truth of it resonating in your bones. Say it until the doubting voice is silenced by the sheer force of your certainty. This is how you forge an unbreakable belief. Not by waiting for external proof, but by creating the internal proof first. The world will always show you evidence for what you already believe to be true. Your job is to decide what that truth is, and then to repeat it, with feeling, with faith, until your entire being aligns with that reality. You are not lying to yourself. You are building the foundation of your future self, one deliberate thought at a time. You have your direction. You have fortified your belief. Now, we come to the discipline that protects them both. The third pillar, the discipline of focus. In an age of infinite distraction, your attention has become the most valuable currency you possess. Every ping, every notification, every endless scroll is a bid for your mental real estate, and most people are giving it away for free. They are surrendering their most precious resource, their focused mind, in exchange for cheap dopamine and a vague sense of being informed. This is the great dilution of potential. Your mind is like a lens. When its focus is scattered and diffuse, its power is weak. It cannot cut through the noise. It cannot generate the heat required for transformation. But when you concentrate that focus, when you bring all of your mental energy to a single point, that lens becomes a laser. It can cut through steel. It can ignite fire. It can achieve what a scattered mind never could. The difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one often boils down to this one skill: the ability to control your attention. This requires a ruthless pruning of your inputs. You must ask yourself with brutal honesty, is this activity, this piece of information, this conversation, moving me toward my definite chief aim? Is it strengthening my belief? If the answer is no, you must learn to let it go. Replace the mindless scrolling with focused reading. Replace the hour of aimless television with 30 minutes of journaling, of visualization, of strategic planning. This is not about deprivation. It is about curation. You are curating the mental environment that will allow your purpose to flourish. The world does not need to distract you. You need to choose not to be distracted. It is an active, daily defense of your inner world. When you sit down to work, work. When you are with your family, be with them. Be fully present in the task at hand. This singular focus is a form of power. It is the power that built empires, that wrote symphonies, that scaled impossible heights. It is the power that says, this is what matters, and everything else for this moment can wait. Your focus is the guardian at the gate of your mind. It decides what gets in, and what must stay out. No mind is an island. It is constantly, subtly, and powerfully influenced by its surroundings. This brings us to the fourth pillar, one that is often the most difficult to accept: the discipline of environment. There is an old, unassailable truth. Tell me who you spend your time with, and I'll tell you who you're becoming. You are the average of the 5 people you associate with most. Your mind is in a perpetual state of osmosis, absorbing the attitudes, the beliefs, the very energy of your inner circle. You cannot spend your days with cynics and expect to maintain an optimistic mind. You cannot surround yourself with mediocrity and expect to achieve excellence. This extends beyond just people. Your environment is the information you consume, the media you watch, the physical spaces you inhabit. Is your mental diet one of empowerment, of growth, of possibility? Or is it a fast food feast of fear, gossip, and negativity? Every input is either adding fuel to your fire or throwing water on it. You must become the guardian of your gates. You must filter the influences that are allowed to shape your reality. This requires courage. It may mean creating distance from those who, however well-intentioned, drain your energy and question your dreams. It is not about hatred. It is about stewardship. It is about recognizing that your potential is too precious to be compromised by the limitations of others. Seek out those who challenge you, who inspire you, who see the version of you that you are striving to become. Curate a circle that acts as mental oxygen, filling your lungs with the air of ambition and belief. And look at your physical space. Is it a place of chaos or a sanctuary for clarity? A cluttered room reflects a cluttered mind. A space filled with distractions is an environment that actively works against your focus. Create a corner of your world that is dedicated to your growth. A place where you can think, read, and plan without interruption. Your external environment should be a physical manifestation of the internal order you are building. Protect your mind by first protecting the world it inhabits. The final pillar, the one that binds all the others together. The discipline of resilience. You can have direction, belief, focus, and a perfect environment, and still life will send storms. Adversity is not an interruption of your path. It is part of the path. It is the friction that sharpens the blade. The principle here is as old as time, yet we forget it in the moment of pain. Every adversity carries within it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. The setback is not the end of the story. It is the setup for a comeback you cannot yet imagine. Resilience is not about avoiding the blow. It is about learning how to absorb it, to bend without breaking, and to use its force to propel yourself forward. Think of a willow tree in a hurricane. The rigid oak may splinter, but the willow bends, its roots holding firm, and when the storm passes, it springs back, stronger for having weathered the wind. Your resilience is your flexibility. It is your ability to find the lesson in the loss, the opportunity in the obstacle. This is not a platitude. It is a practiced mindset. When failure comes, and it will, you do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" That is the question of a victim. You train yourself to ask, "What is this here to teach me? Where is the hidden advantage?" The failed business venture teaches you invaluable lessons about management and market fit. The heartbreak opens you to a deeper capacity for love and self-understanding. The rejection redirects you to a path better suited to your true talents. Pain does not destroy you. It refines you. It burns away the non-essential, leaving only your core strength, your unwavering purpose. The most beautiful and strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire. Your most unbreakable self is forged in your moments of greatest difficulty. Do not curse the fire. Thank it, for it is not your enemy. It is the most demanding and effective teacher you will ever have. Embrace the struggle, for it is the price of entry for a life of extraordinary strength. Now, I want you to close your eyes, just for a moment. Let the noise of the outside world fade into a distant hum. We are going to take a journey, not to a place, but to a state of mind. I want you to visualize this, not as a distant dream, but as a future reality that is already taking root within you. Picture yourself standing on a vast, open plain. Above you, a storm is raging. The wind howls, trying to push you off your feet. The rain drives against your skin, cold and sharp. This storm represents every doubt, every fear, every failure you have ever faced. You can feel the old impulses, the urge to run, to hide, to surrender to the chaos. But you do not run. You take a deep breath, and you plant your feet. You feel a new strength rising from within you, a solid, unshakable core. You look directly into the heart of the storm, and with a voice that is calm, yet carries the weight of absolute conviction, you speak. You say, "I will not break." Feel those words resonate through your entire being. I will not break. The wind may scream, but your inner world is becoming a place of perfect calm. The chaos is outside, but it can no longer touch the real you. You are no longer a victim of the weather. You are the mountain that withstands it. The storm did not end you. It is revealing you. It is washing away everything that was not strong, everything that was not true. Now, see the storm begin to pass. The clouds part, and the first rays of a golden sunrise break through, warming your face. Before you, a path unfolds, leading toward a majestic mountain range. This is your purpose, your definite chief aim, now clear and illuminated. You begin to walk. Your steps are deliberate. Your gaze is steady. The mind that was once chaotic becomes calm. The person who once doubted becomes decisive. You are not the same. You have been remade. You are unbreakable. Hold on to this feeling. This is not a fantasy. This is a preview. Let's bring it all together now. Let's gather the threads of this truth and weave them into a single, unbreakable cord. Your life, your destiny, your peace of mind, it all hinges on one fundamental thing: the quality of your mind. We have walked through the 5 disciplines, but they are not separate. They are one unified system, a chain of command for your soul. Your attitude, more than your aptitude, will determine your altitude. It is the starting point for everything. But a positive attitude without a purpose is just noise. So you must have a definite chief aim, a direction that gives your energy a target. And to fuel that journey, you must cultivate an unshakable belief through the daily practice of autosuggestion, programming your mind for victory before the battle even begins. But that belief, that purpose, is fragile in a world of distraction. So you must guard it with the fierce discipline of focus, learning to channel your attention like a laser beam. and you must protect it further by building a supportive environment, because you cannot rise higher than the company you keep or the information you consume. And when the inevitable storms of adversity come, as they will for us all, you will meet them not with fragility, but with resilience, knowing that every hardship carries a seed of equivalent benefit. The world bends for those who refuse to surrender their attitude. It makes way for the person who knows where they are going, believes they will arrive, focuses on the path, walks with the right people, and gets back up every single time they are knocked down. This is not a theory. This is a law, as real and as immutable as the law of gravity. Your mind is the one thing over which you have ultimate sovereignty. It is your final frontier. If you protect your mind, if you cultivate it, if you armor it with these disciplines, then your mind will, in turn, protect your destiny. It will become the fortress from which you operate, the command center from which you build your legacy. The chaos outside may never cease, but the calm will become your greatest strength. This is where the video ends, but this is where your work begins. The theory is complete. Now comes the practice. Today, perform one act of deliberate mental command. Write your definite chief aim. Guard your focus for 1 hour. Protect your environment from one negative influence. Prove to yourself that you are the master of your mind. Share this with someone who needs to hear this message. Let's build this community of the unbreakable. Now, I need to know, which of the 5 disciplines will you master first? Direction, belief, focus, environment, or resilience? Your answer in the comments matters. If you're ready to take command of your mind, then subscribe. Join us. The conversation continues here, and your transformation is just beginning. Stand tall. Think strong. You are unbreakable. Now, go and prove it to the world.